So I finished this, and I thought it was pretty good, and I've been sending it off to a few people as I've been writing it, who said, oh, this is fun, this is fun. But you never believe your friends when they say this is good writing. Yeah, they tell you anything is good. Even though these were friends who are fairly honest. You shouldn't believe your friends. But I really did believe it. It was good. It was about my third or maybe the fourth novel I'd finished. It was the first one I thought was good. So I thought, okay, this is worth selling. Now, if you've ever tried selling a novel, it's an extremely difficult procedure. I mean, forget any thought of doing it in Japan. I think, Tim, I mean, you've published books here in Japan, but they've been books which have been aimed at Japanese people specifically.
Yeah, English study,
exactly.
Not fiction.
So someone like Kodansha International is going to be interested in them. There is no way in hell that Kodansha International is going to be interested in this. If you write fiction and you live in Japan, you're expected to write a sensitive love story about the intercultural differences between East and West, or you're expected to write a really bad thriller which involves exotic martial arts, which probably don't exist anyway. I mean, Mark Schreiber's done a really, really good synopsis of the archetypal Japanese thriller. Ex-CIA man seeking revenge for, you know, And a publisher's not going to look at anything coming out of Japan unless it's, you know, this sensitive intercultural love story of mistaken whatevers, or the Eric von Lustbard, who I think is a terrible writer, by the way. The Ninja series, it's awful stuff. Good, thank you.
So you mean even publishers in the US aren't interested in stuff?
No, if you're living overseas, if they know where you're living, I've heard this before, they want you to write about geisha or samurai or William Gibson and Akihabara.
Ninja geisha.
Or Ninja geisha.
I mean, ironically, William Gibson had never been to Japan when he wrote Neuromancer. And I don't think, maybe he had when he wrote Idaru. I think Idaru is a brilliant, brilliant look at Japan in 2 years' time, 3 years' time, or whatever. So it is a great book. But anyway, so I started sending things off, and the other thing is that the publishing industry is still very, very much a paper industry. You've got to show that you are serious by printing out 30 single-sided, double-spaced sheets of sliced dead tree, putting in an envelope and putting them into the mail and sending them off. And you wait for 2 months and you get a rejection letter, so you do it again and again and again. And a lot of books say you shouldn't send off more than about half a dozen letters at any one time, just in case by some fluke to come back and say we like it. I got some very nice letters back. I got one very nice letter back from Nat Sobel, who is Barry Eisler's. Does anyone know Barry Eisler? Or no,
He writes the Hard Rain.
They're pretty good, and he really does research his stuff very, very thoroughly. It's meticulously researched, maybe too meticulously researched, but it's very good, and it's very competent, and it's been taken up. And Nat Sobel's his agent. And Nat Sobel sent a very nice thing back. Sorry, we're not interested in this. However, we have been wrong before and we will be wrong again. We may be wrong this time. Don't give up. Try with someone else.
That's very polite.
It's a very nice letter.
That's very polite.